Hello, this is Lorna Rasmussen, and we are live from the tropics. If you've ever wondered why you didn't make a sale or you weren't able to enroll a prospective client, this is the program for you. If you are in sales, you get objections. If you have a business, you're in sales. This is something that took me a while to realize. I was in the coaching business. I thought that I was simply going out and offering people coaching. I was interested in the process of coaching. And then I realized I had to sell somebody or enroll them to be with me as my client, or I couldn't do what I really wanted to do. And that's the situation for most people in business. They love the product, the service, the offering, they love to do the work, but they have to sell. And so I'm going to go through a series of videotapes over the next little while that will really dig deep into selling from the perspective of a business person who really needs to know these techniques. And the first thing we're going to talk about, and I'm going to do this in two parts because it's such a big issue, is I'm going to talk about overcoming objections. You know, an objection is really a question. Now, when I got that in my head, this is a question they're asking me. They're not saying no. That's how we take an objection. I don't have the money for this. I can't do this now. That sounds to our ears like a no, but in fact, if that person is truly interested, it's a question. I learned this the hard way when I kind of closed my presentation book and was about to get away, stand up and leave the presentation, when this woman said to me, I didn't say no. And I had to stop and think, no, she didn't say no. She said, this seems expensive. And I didn't answer that question. And that's exactly what we're talking about. So an objection is a question. It's saying, tell me more. Help me figure out how I can do this. Help me figure out what's possible. Help me understand what exactly this costs and what the return on investment, whatever the issue is, they're saying, help me. They're asking a question, and you are in the position, it's your job to answer that question. So let's go over objections and what an objection really is. And I heard something this weekend that has really turned my thinking around about it, because some of the objections are very just out there in your face. They're easy to understand and then easy to figure out an answer to. But some of them go deeper, and it's in that deep source of that objection that it takes some real patience, and it takes building a relationship, that know, like, and trust factor that's so important when you are either selling to somebody or enrolling them in something. So let's talk about the most common. The most common is, I don't have time for this. So if you were enrolling in a direct sales company, suggesting that they add this on, you know, they're looking at how much time is it going to take to learn this, and add this on to that. I don't have time. Makes sense, right? It's the easiest right off the top. Or I don't have money. And that's easy to understand. And most of us have been in that position where there was something we wanted to do, but we didn't feel we had the money to do it. Third one is, you've just presented to one person of a partnership or a husband, wife, whatever, a spouse, partner, and they say, I have to take this back and talk to my husband about this. I can't, we've agreed not to make decisions. And sometimes it's even on a small matter, something that doesn't really cost a lot, but we've all agreed that we won't do anything without talking to each other. Makes sense. Maybe we've made that same agreement with our partner. So these are things that make sense to us. These are things that can really, to the person who's presenting, sound like a no. What I want you to do is understand what's underlying a lot of this. The fourth way reason that people are making objections is fear. They have tried things like this in the past. They have felt like they've been hoodwinked. They bought something that wasn't what they thought it was going to be, et cetera, et cetera. So this is something that truly, in the scheme of things, creates a pit in their stomach. They may not even be thinking logically about the fear, but that's what it is. And the fourth or the fifth form of an objection, source of an objection, is something that you will not understand until you deal with this in your own life, and that is shame and self-doubt. So that person, maybe because they tried it before, maybe because they've lost money on things. Haven't we all? We've all bought things that we thought it was going to do this, but it did that. And it wasn't really what didn't give us the value we were paying for. And so that shame and self-doubt as a form of an objection is underlying. But guess what? People don't say, I have shame and self-doubt. What they say is, I don't have time. I don't have money. I need to talk to my husband. So how we deal with that is coming up in the next video. It's our hope that you really enjoyed this program today. If you did, please go below and subscribe so you don't miss any of our upcoming programs, and give us a like so we know that you're enjoying them.